never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Well, it's only 5 days until Christmas, and I think Grace and I finally have our Christmas shopping completed, so hopefully everybody else out there is done as well, because it'll be here before you know it. But I wanted to first apologize because I know I mentioned a few weeks ago that Grace and I had a wedding anniversary in December, and we were going to go to a brand new restaurant, and I was going to record a short video talking about it, and that was the plan until we got there last night. And it's a brand new establishment. Everybody knows when a restaurant is new in town, it's really busy for the first 3 or 4 months it's open. And it's a fine establishment with a McDonald's parking lot. So they did not have any place to park, so we went somewhere else that we've gone before that has great food. So no video today talking about that restaurant because we didn't get to go. Not because I forgot, because we didn't get to go. Now, it's on the campus of Clemson University, so if you pull for the cool teams, you have one at your local university. If you don't pull for the cool teams, you may not have one. But if you pull for the cool teams and you have one on your local campus and you go, let me know how good it is, because I've heard some fine reviews about it, but we did not get to go. So on to some sports. Yesterday, the brand new college basketball AP poll came out. It comes out each and every Monday during the college basketball season, and most teams have wrapped up their non-conference play, and most teams start conference play this week, if not next week. A lot of teams have already played a conference game. I know Clemson played like 7 or 8 non-conference games. Then they stepped out and played one conference game, and then they stepped back out of non-conference and played 3 or 4 non-conference games. And now, starting tomorrow night, they're back into conference play. So it's about that time of the year where all the conferences start their conference competition. Now, the top 2 teams in the country are still undefeated. Everybody else has at least one loss. Of course, we know how long the college basketball season is, so I can just about guarantee you that both teams that are undefeated at the top will not finish the season undefeated. But the number 1 team right now in college basketball is Purdue, followed by UConn. Then we have the Houston Cougars, the Kansas Jayhawks, and the Arizona Wildcats rounding out the top 5. 6 through 10 is Virginia. 7 and 8 is both UTs back-to-back. Texas, number 7. Tennessee, number 8. Then we have Alabama, number 9. Arkansas, number 10. Gonzaga struggled at the beginning of the season, but now they're back up to number 11. Baylor, number 12. UCLA, number 13. Duke, 14. And the Bulldogs of Mississippi State are number 15. 16 through 20 is Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Kentucky, and TCU. And 21 through 25 is Virginia Tech, the Miami Hurricanes, Auburn, Marquette, and Arizona State. And in my personal opinion, even though they have a loss and Purdue and UConn don't, the best team right now in college basketball is Houston. Of course, it's very, very early in the season. College basketball doesn't end until April. Of course, the regular season ends in early March, and then we have the conference tournaments and then the overall NCAA tournament. But the best team right now in America through the first 6 weeks of the season is the Houston Cougars, but a lot can change between now and March. Any thoughts on the AP College Basketball Top 25? Please feel free to let me know. And I know I've been going on for several weeks in the NFL world about how bad the Bucks are, and they're still probably going to win their division because right now they're 6-8. But you have the Falcons and the Saints and the Panthers all sitting at 5-9. So more than likely, the winner of that division is going to have a losing record because I don't see the Bucks winning their last 3 games. But I think they'll still win the division because the Falcons, Saints, and Panthers all suck. But I haven't really talked much about the Titans in their division, and it's almost just as bad because the Titans are 7-7, but they lead the division 1 game ahead of the Jaguars, who are 6-8. And the Titans and the Jaguars play each other the final game of the regular season. So there's a chance in the NFL world that we might have 2 division winners this year that have losing records. And of course, that's never happened before in a 17-game season. The Seahawks won their division, I think it was about 10 or 11 years ago, with a 7-9 record back when it was a 16-game season. So it's happened before, one time in a 16-game season, but it's never happened in a 17-game season. And I think if that happens, my personal opinion is they need to change some kind of rule to where if you don't have a winning record, even if you win your division, you're not going to the playoffs. You know, it used to be in a 16-game season, you could finish 500. Well, 500, even though it's honestly, really, truly only 1 game better than having a losing record, it still looks a lot better. 8-8 looks a lot better than 8-9. And I don't care if you did win your division. If you go 8-9 and you win your division sucks. But a team with a losing record has no business being in the playoffs. Of course, I don't know if they'll ever do that or if they ever could do that, because then you're going to have another wild card team. And you don't need to have more wild card teams in the playoffs than you do division winners. But I just don't think a team with a losing record winning your division has no business in the playoffs. So if it happens, whoever plays the Bucks or the Titans or Jaguars in the first round pretty much is going to have an automatic win unless we have an upset. But I said before the season started that the Titans have reached their peak with Ryan Tannehill. They've done as good as they're going to do. They're never going to do any better as long as they have Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. And for some reason, they love him, so they don't want to go away from him. But he's not the answer. He is not going to lose you a lot of games, but he's just not going to win you a lot of games. And you're wasting Derrick Henry's career because he just continues to get overused. He probably only has about 2 or 3 good years left, and you've wasted his career because you have Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback. And speaking of Ryans, I feel bad for Matt Ryan because this past weekend, his team just blew a 33-0 lead and got beat. And he now has been the quarterback once for the Falcons, once for the Colts in the two largest comebacks in NFL history. Of course, one was with the Falcons playing New England up 28-3. They lost. The other one was this past Saturday up 33-0, and they lost. So, of course, he's the quarterback. He's going to take all the blame for it. I never have been a huge Matt Ryan fan, but I've never understood why he got the name Matty Ice, because the word ice is supposed to mean that you're cool under pressure and you win when it means something. Matt Ryan's never won diddly squat. So I've never understood how and why he got the name Matty Ice, but at the same time, I think he takes too much blame for stuff that's not his fault. And this is two of those situations, because if you look at those two games, yeah, his team blew the lead, but last I checked, he doesn't play defense. And if you look at Matt Ryan's stats in those two games, even though his team blew both of the games, he had a total of 0 turnovers in those two games. So it's not like the comeback happened because Matt Ryan just fumbled the ball or threw interceptions. That's not so. The comeback happened because the coach both times has got too conservative. I said years ago when the Falcons had that big lead over New England that they got too conservative, because at halftime they had that huge lead. So middle third quarter, the Falcons offense just became terrible. All they did was run the ball, and try to run the clock out. That's not Matt Ryan's fault. Now, if he's out there fumbling the ball or throwing picks, then I can say, yeah, that's Matt Ryan's fault. But when you have a total of 0 turnovers and the other team still comes back and wins, it's not your fault. But I bring that up because it just shows that that's the life of a quarterback. People look at your stats, and most people remember your stats, but most people don't give a darn about your stats. They care about, did you win or did you lose? And if you're the quarterback and the team blows the lead, even though you don't call the plays, even though you don't play defense, even though you had no turnovers, you take the blame for it. So I do feel bad for Matt Ryan, because he's been on the losing end of the two largest comebacks in NFL history, but neither one of them have been his fault. But at the same time, I don't understand how he got the name Matty Ice, because even back in college, he's never accomplished a dadgum thing. So I don't know how you get a nickname about how good you are under pressure when you've never done diddly squat under pressure. Makes absolutely no sense to me. But it is clear that Matt Ryan does need to retire, so hopefully he will not be back next year, because he is done. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. And since it is Christmas week, today's dad joke has to be about Christmas. How much did Santa Claus pay for his sleigh? Nothing. It was on the house. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.